ever play Saga Frontier?
Nope. Oh, that's pretty bad.
What?
Doing PS2, right?
PlayStation.
Oh yeah, PlayStation 2.
No, just PlayStation.
No. Never played it.
Alright. Suggest you give it a shot. It's pretty. It takes place in like a high fantasy Japanese world.
I have it. I've got it so down there.
Oh, okay. It's all of the characters are sprites, really smooth looking, very nice looking, and one of the great parts of the game is that it follows the story of a young man on his rise to king? Question mark. And this, of course, means that you're going to be doing like warfare fights, and like it just suddenly, all of a sudden, it's what's it called? It's Fire Emblem, but you use it's more JRPG because they still use the JRPG system. So it leads to some very interesting matches and strategy, which is why I enjoyed it. But it's not a key part of the game. Like when you do fight, it's uncommon. But I remember enjoying it. I also remember enjoying the music. Like the music was the bee's knees. Oh, there's. See, take a look. Look how Sugoi she looks. This game is calling for you. Feldschlacht.
Yeah.
I have a very embarrassing order. Oh. Oh, that's fucking stupid. I never played Saga Frontier 1, so I wanted to play Saga Frontier 2 again, because it was one of the games that beat my ass as a kid. Like, one of the war scenarios was just like, wow, it was really up there. This was before what I knew what save states were. I know. I'm a grown man. I have family to spend time. Ah, Aaron, it reminds me. Are you familiar with Jin? I think I've said it before. It's a manga. about a man. It's before isekai was a real thing. It's like the grandpapa of isekai, where it's like, I'm a successful man. He's a successful doctor in modern day, and he meets a strange man who's holding a baby. And it was
yeah,
like,
it's
not even
the,
a baby,
the
like
doctor,
fetus.
right? He goes.
And he
back in
gets
time.
sent back to the 1800s Japan, and he has to survive somehow. But one of the funny things is that they go into the downsides of isekai time travel, which is that no one can claim like where he's from, and all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, he's probably a spy, and then he's interrogated historically. Like they put him in the historical prisons, the really bad ones. It's just like, oh no, poor guy.
Retrieve our flag!
Oh, heirs. I mean, so we need a certain new sound clip.
Defend our flag!
All right, that's pretty good.
Flag!
Yeah.
Great shot.
Need that laugh. No, it's a YouTube video posted.
Ooh, I'm view number 1000.
I have the flag.
Ooh, primitive technology just made a new thing. Lower and charcoal. Fucking, this guy's been at it for like, what, 6 years? Dr. Stone's been at it for 6 months, and they've already discovered cell phones. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, they've actually made, like the guy really cares about science. Really cares about science. So, no, the guy who makes Dr. Stone. So he makes sure that, like, all of the stuff that he makes and says happens is scientifically accurate. Like, there's a fight scene where there's a guy who has no fight experience. There's no way he's gonna win. But he does have the power of a lens. He has, like, he's holding a lens up into the air, and he's trying to ignite his opponent's clothing. And the writer comes up with a reason for why the opponent should stay still for 60 seconds, which is roughly the amount of time it takes for clothing to ignite via magnifying glass. I was like, I appreciate that. But on their quest to making cell phones, they're making vacuum tubes, but they need a stronger vacuum. And the main character shows the artisan this. Yeah. Yeah, no, they've been making it. Like, they've been making the children, like, tie gold wire so it's long enough to reach the mountain where they're going to put the cell tower. Oh. Gold is plentiful, so they're using that.
I have the flag.
This is... Oh, so the picture I just posted is apparently called the Hickman pump. Let's see. Alright. Oh yeah, they make plastic too. That's funny.
Flag is secure. Whoops.
Ah.
Take the flag from me. Acknowledged. Flag is secure. Acknowledged. Great shot. Thanks. Whoops. Our flag is secure. I have the flag. Declined. No. I don't know. I have the flag. Our flag is secure.
Whoop. And some dude's butt. Gross. Oh, man.
Yep. 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 Thanks.
Let me get some food.